with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Discussing that heat in the street, hey, we got just what you need on Vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what
All
you need.
alone.
Vitamin G. Hey. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Hey, final round. I already know how I'm coming, man. Yeah. Tryna run the town. Tell no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, they'll be told all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Take it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the seat. How could it be? Give me a couple of rounds, cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see this start crumbling now, mad struck start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock blitz, know the little half freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the game, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Link up with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them bills on the duty. I'm in Stixie, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See, my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. To reload the clip and record the clip is go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tuned into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dante Crisis here with another weekly dose of your vitamin G. And today with me is the Mario Brothers of the VGP. First of all, we have the staunch, amazing companion that everybody needs in your life, Yoshi Zero. What's up, Yoshi? What's up, Zero? How you doing today, my man?
Oh, that's a good pick. I like Yoshi. I am doing well, man. Playing a lot of games, although spent a lot of time consuming media because San Diego Comic-Con just happened. So I saw a lot of things that I am excited for. Wish FC was here because Marvel laid out their entire plans all the way up until 2025.
Yeah.
And DC is doing stuff, I guess. So like they're
hey,
gonna be
Black Adam looks good.
Black Adam looks dope, and Shazam is my favorite of like the DC films,
Like,
and so it's good to see Shazam too.
I'm just hoping with Black Adam, like he does play a more, I think that Dwayne Johnson gets typecasted a bit too much. I think he definitely does have a lot more dynamic range to him. A lot of his earlier work proves that. I just hope he does play a more villainous, like. I hope he plays Black Adam and not The Rock.
It's tough to say because I think you're right with the idea to like typecast, but I think for a long time he's been writing his own checks, so like he's typecasting himself. Like he will be like an antagonist, it seems, but it doesn't seem like he wants to go into like full villain mode. I don't know. I agree with you. Black Adam is awesome and like he's an awesome villain. So it'd be interesting to see.
I'm hoping,
but, like,
if he's a hero, I hope that they really do lean into. You know what he needs to be? He needs to be what the perception of not cool. He needs to be the perception of what Superman was in Man of Steel. He'll save the day, but fuck all collateral damage in the way.
That makes sense.
He looks more anti-hero in the trailer. Not that he's like a villain, but he's not like Hancock.
And his origin seems to have changed. So that's interesting as well. So
Also,
I don't know how
Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. Yes, give me all of that. Yes.
Come on.
So there was that as Wakanda Forever, which was awesome. I'm
nervous. I think they're gonna bring back fucking
Warmonger.
Killmonger.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I? Sorry, what? Killmonger. I don't think they're bringing back Killmonger. It would not surprise me if we get, because there is the prevailing idea going around that we are going to get an alternate universe to T'Challa.
I think that could happen, but I would rather like he
It's definitely
be.
going to be true. It's not going to be anybody else for sure.
It should be
I would.
Nakia.
What I would like them to do is they would. I would like to bring back the baby mama and the divorce as like kind of a black mark on his life early on, and Storm comes back with his son, and he takes the mantle.
They need to, if anything, like I wasn't a big fan of the Black Panther movie, like, but I did like the Black Panther character. Chadwick Boseman fucking killed that role. And the one thing that I go into Black Panther Wakanda Forever hoping is they handle his passing, because from what I saw they do acknowledge that T'Challa has died. Correct?
Yeah.
I'm hoping they handle that with tact.
It looks like they did. I mean, the trailer looks like it did a good job with that.
Yeah. So good to see all that type of stuff. Game wise, playing is it Live Alive? It's Live Alive. I think I
Live Alive.
It's the same word, right? Or maybe it is. Which is an absolutely awesome little game. I was sort of completely wrong in what I said last week. I wasn't sure if people were going to take to this based off of like its original reviews way back when. But the more I dug into it, it seemed as though the issue with it was it just sort of couldn't compete with arguably what became two of the greatest JRPGs of all time, being Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger. So it's like, yeah, I guess if you got to go up against those two, you're always going to be like the last man out. And it had some problems, but this new remade version is absolutely wonderful. I've only played 2 stories so far, although I haven't completed either one of them. The one I'm on currently right now, which is effectively Alien. It's a space story about this little robot cube that very quickly turns into Alien, the movie, and where this monster is chasing you throughout this spaceship, and people are dying, and things go bad real fast. So I love it, having an absolutely great time with it. Fully voice acted for those who like care about that type of stuff. Looks great. It looks like Octopath Traveler. The sound is absolutely fantastic. Like the music in this game like hits on a whole different level. So that's completely awesome. And I played Stray, the game about a cat.
How far are you?
Not very far. I just got to. I just found all the notebooks, and he just sent me on my way to do whatever the next is.
Oh, okay, I know that.
Yeah. Stray's a cool little game. I mean, it's a game where you play as a cat. It's like there's really not, at least as far as I can tell so far, there's not much more than that as far as like this isn't revolutionary, but it's a cat game, so like obviously the internet's gonna love it. It's cute. The dedicated meow button is kind of cool. And the world looks kind of interesting and fun, so that's it's always cool. So I take every advantage to jump on something and knock stuff over. And really have a good time. But puzzle solving, not terribly difficult. I don't know how well. I'm curious how well this game would have done if it didn't drop on the PS Plus service. I don't know if it would have been received as well.
I give it a hairball out of 10.
It would.
It would have been received well critically.
Yeah. I don't know if people would have played it because I don't know if people were like, why would I play this game about the cat?
Because it's a cat? Come on.
I mean, some will, some won't, but I think there's a large majority who's like, no, I'm not gonna like do that. Where the other folks are like, yeah, it's a cat game, Doug, sign me up. I was in the latter. I was like, cat game, sign me up. But otherwise, that's basically it. Still making my way through Elden Ring and Persona 5. Just beat the second major boss of Persona 5.
Fuck. The artist. Maserati.
Yeah, Maserati. So I'm on to at least based on what they were saying.
Are you playing original Persona 5 or Royal?
Yeah, it's original, I think.
Yeah, it's
You
on
lucky
PlayStation.
fucker. Because Personified Madarame, that's it, Madarame. Because
Yeah.
Royal Madarame is that. Oh my god, they made the bosses such a pain in the ass in Royal.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? What does he do?
So in Son 5, you just attack the pictures as per usual, and then once you defeat them all, he shows up, and then you beat the ever-loving crap out of him. In Remake, it turns into fucking Super Sentai, where you defeat the pictures, and then different versions of Madarame show up with different colors that you have to attack with certain elements.
That actually sounds a lot more fun, honestly.
Hello.
It sounds fun until you actually play it, and then it's the biggest fucking pain in the ass ever. It's just like why, and that's nothing compared to Akumura. God damn.
But yeah, other than that's all I've been playing.
All right, fair enough. All right, moving on to the man who has one duty but somehow continuously fails to fuck up and protect the princess. We have Toad Omar.
Okay.
What have you been up to?
So I finished Nobody Saves the World. I had such a blast with this game. Story is paper thin, but so be it. The characters are funny. The gameplay is fun. Not that challenging. I know, Jubei, some characters are broken. Broken. Especially the dragon, it's over. Other than that, so I dropped what's called the other game that I was playing from Square, because I'm now game sharing with a friend of mine, and he opened up more than 300 games that I have access to now. Most of them are games that I've always wanted to buy, so that's gonna be a busy day. I started Chocobo Mystery Dungeon, and I'm enjoying it. It's Final Fantasy. I miss that. Other than that, I started playing Stray, and I'm enjoying it also. I think I'm close to the. No, I don't think. I think I'm on the middle when it comes to Stray. Also, fun fact: before we go live in an hour or two, I actually won a contest. When it comes to Stray, there is at the very first level of the game, you need to outrun the enemies, but you need to do so without getting caught. If you do that, a trophy unlocked. So a friend of mine challenged us, three of us. Whoever does it first, we can choose a game and he's gonna buy for us. So I won, and I'm gonna definitely invest that money in a starter equipment for the Switch that my friend is sending me. I'm super excited to play Live Alive, and that's about it.
All right, fair enough. Next, the man who just wants to earn, who just wants to make that cheddar, Mr. Wario Jube. How are you today, my man?
I haven't been. I actually got on Halo earlier today. I haven't really been gaming too much lately. I'm out doing a little job hunting and living life. I have been playing Ayuden Chronicles. I think that's how you say that. Yeah. That.
That's a W. Enjoy.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. I'm not upset with it at all. It's fun. Of course, the occasional Master Duel, and yeah, I did check out Stray. That's cool.
It's a cat.
I'm not gonna. It's a cat, yeah. It's not my game of the year or anything like that, but I mean, it's not terrible to play, so we're good there. I did cave and upgrade to premium for fucking PSN. I really did not want to do that, but I did.
And the shepherd has yet again Fell of the sheep.
You
Yep.
couldn't just get to
And
the middle tier.
what?
You couldn't just get to the middle tier, or were you already at the middle tier?
He was already
I
out.
was, yeah, so it's like fuck it. But nah, them PS3 games is rough, bro. I do not recommend those to anybody ever. Streaming that shit is god awful.
Kind of figured. That's why I said you don't want streaming, because that's what will fucking happen.
No, it's just bad. I mean, Xbox Cloud Stream is way better than whatever the fuck they're offering. Shit, it's so bad. Like, bruh, I'm like, I played God of War 2, and I'm like, hold up. Then I load the emulator on my Steam Deck, and I'm like, oh, this is a million times better than that. What the fuck? Like,
To be
and also-
okay. To be fair, God of War PlayStation 3, not the best example of it. Because the HD collection of God of War 1 and 2 wasn't that good.
Was it trash? I just want to know it was trash.
It was.
If it was trash,
No, it was bad. Like you would get better results emulating the PS2 version on Steam Deck any day of the week.
cool. Okay, I'll try a different game then. But that was not a great first impression.
I could.
not amused.
What I would recommend, Jube, go and watch my God of War God mode playthrough on my channel, and you'll see how bad it looks.
Okay.
Like,
I couldn't make it.
like it looked that trilogy wasn't that good in my opinion. Well, that HD remastered thing, because they just fucking upscaled it all anyway.
And it was a shitty upscale. I'm like, what is this art? Like, why does it look like this? It was god awful. But outside of that, yeah, nothing much. I got another local Yu-Gi-Oh tournament coming up on Wednesday that I'm trying to top 3 in, and that's pretty much it for me.
All right, cool. So yeah. Next is the Princess Peach, because he is an absolute princess. Mr. Peach Bazaar, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. You know, fighting a little bit of voice loss. Had a little bit too much fun over the weekend.
You've been yelling Mario too much?
Yeah, I guess so. We're playing plays for Scarlet Nexus. About to finally finish up the Sunday story. Jump back into Madden for the first time in a while. Had some fun with that. And yeah, that's about it.
Alright, cool. And then there is the Luigi crisis, because I don't want to be Mario. I want to be appreciated. The money and fame don't matter. I want an actual job. I want to bust ghosts. Like that. That's an actual job. I want to earn money and have millions and own mansions like Luigi does. Luigi is the true smart brother. He invests his money into lavish buildings, and he hunts ghosts. I've been up to a lot. Been trying to get my own life in order more than anything. Been playing. Finished Batman Arkham Origin. That game is a lot better than some people give it credit for. The biggest problem with that game is the fact that it's a prequel. Finished Rogue Trooper as well. That was a lot of fun. Played and finished TMNT Shredder's Revenge, which, holy shit, six player co-op in that game is just chaos. Like, it is unabashed fucking chaos, and I loved it. I loved every single second of it. Other than that, Star Wars The Old Republic is nearly done. Should be done with it this week. Played some more Sea of Thieves, got to Pirate Legend, which has been a lot of fun. Started recording my Let's Play of Bulletstorm this weekend as well, which is... How have I never played that game before? That game is fun as fuck. Bulletstorm is fun as hell. How have I never played it? I feel embarrassed I never played it. Aside from that, not much in the grand scheme of everything else, unfortunately. All right, and first of all, let's get some love. Let's get some love to the chat for coming out and joining us. What up, what up, Dragon Slayer? How are you doing today? What up, Joster? Hello, Nate. Let's see what else we got. What up, Dragon Yobi? What's good, man? Hello, Amadeus. How you doing? And that is all we have so far. All right, let's move on to the first topic, ladies and gentlemen. There is leaks on the MS Sony. Now that's a little insight for all you Navy guys out there. The MS Sony is sinking, guys. It's got so many goddamn fucking leaks. Hey, by the way, hello Nate. Sorry about that. So, take this article with a grain of salt, ladies and gentlemen. I could not find anybody else talking about it. By the way, can you guys still hear me? I want to do a Discord check.
I hear you.
Okay, you all hear me still. That's good. Just wanted to make a Discord check because I was worried that Discord was crashed again. So yeah, take this article with a grain of salt. I've never heard of these guys, but Omar clearly swears by them. So, yeah, according to an article from PlayStation Lifestyle, according to two known insiders, recent Sony first-party leaks, God of War Ragnarok and The Last of Us 2 remake leaks, namely, stem from a security breach that Sony has yet to plug. As a result, there may be more leaks in the coming weeks and months. That's according to Xbox Era's Nick, Shrapnel Nick Baker, and journalist insider Jeff Grubb. Baker is the one who recently leaked The Last of Us Part 1 remake gameplay videos, accessibility options, and control schemes alongside screenshots. Prior to Last of Us Part 1 remake leaks, God of War Ragnarok's release information and various special editions were shared by a number of insiders ahead of official PlayStation blog posts, and The Last of Us Part 1 leaks had people thinking that they were looking at a similar case of the Part 2 fiasco, but not quite. Sony may have a little bit of an issue, a security problem, Baker says in one video above, with Grubb chiming in to agree. Baker added that he's been getting offers from numerous other Sony first-party leaks, and then teased an upcoming God of War Ragnarok leak. Both Grubb and Baker then agreed that someone has gotten a hold of something at Sony. One Reddit user... Hello? One Redditor... No, I heard feedbacks. Like, I heard myself through someone's microphone. One Redditor user pointed towards a month-old Reddit thread by a now deleted user who claimed that someone got a hold of a company laptop with 100 gigabyte drive full of data. The Reddit thread was dismissed by most users at the time, but it is now believed that someone decided to take a risk, download the files, and or found a way to crack into the server or something.
So, how's your credit card?
They got
Yet again.
Yeah, they've got more leaks than the fucking Titanic.
Well, they never specialized in network security.
How can one company have the same fucking issue for years? Because, like, there was the...
Sometimes,
You know what, Pharaoh, go ahead. No, you go first. Go ahead.
I was going to say, sometimes, in those situations, you, as a company, you decide what's, when you're budgeting your security, you decide what's most important to protect. So, your defense in depth isn't as strong. So those things that are leaking may not be like of the highest priority for Sony. They might want to protect their hardware assets and, intellectual properties that they're developing, that they're like patents and stuff like that they're developing, as opposed, that can be stolen from them, as opposed to like something like God of War, no one can steal that. So I'm just guessing at this point, but that would be my best guess. It's just not the biggest priority for their network security at this point because they keep leaking.
Yeah, they're leaking like a fucking sieve. Zero, what are your thoughts on this?
Feels kind of weird, right? Like this does seem to be a thing that's constantly happening. As far as I can tell, something that seems pretty preventable. I guess we don't have any concrete evidence on how exactly these leaks are getting out, right? Like, is it a person? Did someone leave a laptop or a hard drive behind? Or are people just sort of breaking into their systems and figuring things out? Because how did the guy who leaked Last of Us, did they ever say how he did it?
I believe it was an open backdoor channel.
Okay, and so he got in through there. I mean, I guess it's challenging and sucks, particularly for Sony, who a lot of their games, they're story-based games. Like, it's one thing to leak that something's coming. Yeah, it sucks to be to miss that surprise factor, and for Sony, it sucks that somebody is releasing it not on your terms. But that's okay, right? If the leak is a new Killzone is coming, it's like, oh, well, I guess we didn't know that. Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but if the leak is, here's the ending to God of War Ragnarok, and it's like, oh, that's a little different, and you might want to close those holes, because again, Last of Us 2, the story was released. I mean, the story was leaked before the game was out, and certainly people could have assumed some of those leaks, but if you didn't, it's and it's such a narrative driven game, and Sony makes awesome narrative driven games, so it sucks to have that potentially these games can be spoiled for those who really want to enjoy them. And I think it behooves Sony to fix this. This seems like a relatively simple problem. I don't know how they're operating, internally. But this doesn't seem like something where someone tried really hard to do this. And that's the only way you can effectively stop people from doing things, if it's just too difficult and it's not worth their time. Leaks will always happen. You just have to make them difficult to have and manage. But if Nintendo can pull it off, certainly Sony can. If you look at, there's a brand new Pokemon coming out, and there's still not a lot of leaks about it. There's some, but none of them know to be true or not. And people sort of desperately want to see what the next new Pokemon game is going to look like. So, again, Nintendo can pull it off. Sony, I know you can. So I really hope they sort of get this together. Because it probably doesn't make a lot of sense. You've got too much money and too much influence to have this happening on such a constant basis.
Yeah, I mean the like you mentioned, it's a preventable thing, but the problem is, the problem with holes, they tend to get bigger if left untreated. It's like a wound. A wound it eventually gets infected. So the problem is, and this is where I would disagree currently with Pharaoh, is this might not be they might look at it and think, oh, this is not something worth really trying to patch, because we're trying to stop other things. We don't want other things being leaked. This is not really that big of a priority. But the problem is, eventually that access point is just going to get bigger, and they're going to dig even deeper and find stuff that Sony doesn't want people to see. If this was an external hack.
One day for sure.
And with how determined people are, it's going to be sooner rather than later. And Jubei fucking dropped. Okay, all right. Well, we'll ask Omar what he thinks about these people.
It's a shame that leaked, but the reality of things, stuff get leaked all the time, and from big companies, the bigger companies they are, the more easy for them to get leaked. And to get hacked, because most of them most of the time the security is subpar to say the least. Remember the time that fucking Barack Obama got hacked, Twitter got hacked, and other celebrities? It's it's insane, and I'm genuinely curious how good or bad someone like PlayStation security is, and how easy is it for someone to take a company laptop and take it home with him without needing to use a password or stuff like that to access it. And I know from experience that when you have rules like that, some people are gonna break the rule. And if you don't have a lot of not insight but more like a focus, you don't focus on stuff like that, then slip up gonna happen and you're gonna end up with Last of Us 3 being leaked before they even want to announce it, something like that. That's a shame. It generally is, because when the leak for the Last of Us 1 remake happened, a lot of the devs were frustrated with that leak because they want to show
a lot of people right there turn around saying, "Oh, it's not real. It's a leak. You can't trust leaks. It's not real." Yeah, I know some people like that as well.
I actually stayed off on the leak. I didn't believe it, nor did I watch it, because I waited until PlayStation put out the video. And then it confirmed something and it showed me other stuff. And it made me decide if I'm gonna buy the game or not. I'm absolutely against leaks. Leakers should not be a thing. I used to love them because you're getting the information earlier and stuff like that, and exciting, but I don't want it at the price of developers' hard work.
See, my problem with that mindset is what hard work? Like the work has already been done. Like it's just getting put out there earlier than they anticipated. It's not going to cause a dramatic. It's not going to cause any kind of hardship to them if like a video of it gets leaked. Now, if the game gets leaked, like the entirety of a game, that's a completely different story. But we're talking just a video showing the game.
First of all, the video was compressed. Second of all, the person went out of their way.
I thought you never watched the video.
No, I never watched the video. A friend of mine did. So I'm using his talking point because he watched it, and I trust him because he is on my one of my co-hosts, and Innate can confirm that because Innate is one of my co-hosts as well. The video is compressed. Second of all, the person went out of.
Here's the problem with that mindset, or with you turn around and saying that all videos on YouTube are compressed.
I know, but when you leak something that's already not looking good, people are gonna think of it that this is what you're gonna get.
But it is what we're gonna get. Like, compression or not, it is what we're going to get.
For some stuff, yes, but not when it comes to the visual. The visuals are vastly improved over the original. I know because I watched the clip and I watched the comparison. I'm not a fan of some of the stuff that they is doing, and I already said it on my show. If you want to get back, if we're gonna talk about it right now, it's later. Up to you.
No, we're gonna talk about it later. Anyway, it's a whole topic in itself.
Okay, so the fact that there is no real gameplay core mechanic change, like when I heard remake, and this is maybe a missing, I not only assumed, I understood what remake means. It means what we got with Final Fantasy VII Remake and what's called Resident Evil 2, where they overhauled a lot of stuff, added new stuff in it, and stuff like that. Core mechanic gameplay change. But with this Last of Us Remake, we're not getting that. We're getting a lot of changes. Give me a second so I can name them, because I have.
No, we'll get into it later. But let's just stick to the leaks for now.
Oh.
Like Sony having leaks.
I thought you were.
No.
Okay,
Because I'll disassemble all those goddamn points you're about to make during that. So will everybody else.
Okay, when it comes to the leak, I'm absolutely not happy that happened, and I hope nothing else gets leaked. But I fear now for the God of War leak, which is after this conversation, I'm gonna go mute the entire God of War topic on Twitter and YouTube, because the YouTube vid would be posting the leaks like it's none one else's business. Like, no, dude, fuck off, out fear with that shit.
Yeah. So, but again,
yeah?
you didn't answer my question when I said how does them releasing, or how does them leaking a gameplay footage, how does that hurt the developers? It just, like I said, we're talking about, if you want to use this as an example, it's just releasing a gameplay video. How does this hurt the developers?
For example, the body system.
What?
The body system was explained via the video.
Okay,
if you didn't,
no. Again, you're completely circumventing answering the fucking question. How does the but you're not explaining though. You are literally going around the bend so hard on this.
I'm literally trying to explain. You said how it hurts the developers. When someone comes out and said that you didn't do anything about the game, when in fact they can't see what the body system is, because the body system needed to be explained, which they explained it in the video.
Okay, so no. Okay, but the main topic of conversation that came out for The Last of Us Part 1, fucking everywhere, we even had this discussion as well, was from a gameplay standpoint, from the moment-to-moment gameplay of shooting and everything like that, there is visibly in that gameplay, which you don't need it explaining to you, there is no difference. Like, there is no improvement from, like, The Last of Us Part 2, like, some of the mechanics from Last of Us Part 2 put into this game, which is what clearly a lot of people wanted.
Yeah, I agree. Me too included, and I said that.
But so again, how does this hurt the developers when people are seeing when people are just getting a visual of what they care about the most, and that is, does it play better than The Last of Us remastered and The Last of Us? Because I'll be honest, The Last of Us and Last of Us remaster didn't have good shooting. Like, the combat in that game wasn't all that great. It really wasn't. That was one of the biggest areas of contention for me in that game. It needed fixing, and it seems like they have not done it. So again, I ask you, how does this hurt the developers?
I explained it. When it comes to, now you're talking about the core mechanics.
Which is what the topic of the conversation around what people saw in those leaks was.
But they saw a few things. In real talk, I really don't know what they saw from the leaks. The thing that I saw, and my friend told me, was that the visuals were not up to par with the final that we saw later, and the entire thing with the body system. And when it comes to no prone and stuff like that, like, I was mad disappointed. And that doesn't hurt the developers, that hurt me. Because I was the one that hyped for that.
I think at least from what it sounds
I'm
like.
also showing
I guess,
people. I'm also showing people because clearly you don't actually look into. You take other people's word instead of actually looking into it for yourself. So I'm going to show people what was leaked. It was the entire combat scenario inside of the bookstore.
I know the entire combat scenario, which is why when it first leaked, I didn't believe it. Because I'm like, no way PlayStation would do that shit. And when it was turned out to be that's it, that's the same thing, what I think I called them out on it.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, just to move on because like talking around in circles, we'll be getting back to this in a second. Jube, your thoughts on all these leaks coming from Sony, like all the leaks, not just specifically. I'm only showing this because this was the leak that was shown everybody. It's not mainly because of what me and Omar were arguing about. But yeah, Jube, what are your thoughts on all of the leaks that are coming from Sony?
Thank you.
Jube?
Thank you very much for your opinion, Jube. Oh, fuck you. Fire damage.
Yeah, Jube, I think your mic's broke, bro. Jube gonna smoke a blunt. Oh, right, yeah, he is BRB. Okay.
I can't hear him.
Yeah, because he's not there. He said BRB in the chat, and he's gonna smoke. He's going to toke the smoke.
Okay.
Anyway, at the end of the day, like these leaks don't hurt the developers. Quite frankly, they don't, because when leaks like this release, they're just show it's gameplay, okay, and people get to see whether or not the gameplay looks good, the gameplay looks familiar, or anything like that. Right? So leaks like this don't hurt the developers. And sometimes we see things that the developers don't want us to show, or don't want to show us. We'll get into that later as well, because this is an example of things that the developers didn't want us to see. Now, when you leak an entire story, or leak an entire game, that hurts the developers. That's the bad kind of leaks. Like that's the scummy kind of leaks. But when you're just leaking videos and general information to people who really need it, that's not going to hurt the developer. It's only going to hurt the developer if it's not what people want. That's the only time it's going to hurt. That's the only time, in my opinion, it's going to hurt the developers. What do you think, Zero? Because I can hear your mic activating.
I mean, I think it's a little. I probably, let's say 60-40. And 60% I generally agree with you. My only thing I would just say is like what I assumed by hurt, quote unquote, if you will, is that inevitably what happens is you're not in control of the message that you want to put out. And as we've seen time and time again, like Twitter or social media or anything, like they take control of the message, and sometimes they don't see what you want them to see. They run with their own ideas or whatever they're thinking about, when that's not the truth about what you want to put out. And so you don't have an opportunity to craft your message because someone effectively has stolen it from you and then crafted it for you. So in that sense, I could sort of see why it could like hurt the developers, right? Like, because if it's a little bit to what you said. If it's something we don't want to see, the only problem is we don't really know we have a sense of what we want to see. And just because a leaked video doesn't show it, doesn't mean we're not getting what we want. Just in this very specific instance, it's not showing us what we want. Now it's like, oh, they're not doing it. I was like, well, no, they are doing it. You just sort of took that. You didn't give them a chance to present it in the way they were supposed to. You just took from them and showed something without any real context about like what it is. You know, it's similar. You know, it's like if you took a screenshot of something without showing the full video, And it's just like, well, yeah, if you just pay attention to this one screenshot, it does not show what you want. But if you watch the full video, you'll completely see exactly what you've been looking for. I said, hurt, it's tough. Like, I don't like financially and stuff like that. I agree with you. I don't know if it's going to like hurt them in any meaningful way, but I can understand as a developer, anybody, or creative, or anyone, like it's my message and I should be able to put that out regardless of like what it is. People shouldn't take that away from me. And that can, I mean, that can hurt, or that can suck, because we all as we all know, people will run with any little thing they have and like craft their entire thing or something that may or may not be true based on the leaks that just happened.
Yeah. Is you back yet?
Doesn't sound like it.
Nah, he ain't. Farrell, what do you think? Do you think leaks hurt developers?
I don't think they hurt developers. I think in this case, when you're doing a remake for this particular game and people are expecting certain enhancements to said game, you wait until, well, you don't wait at all. You just don't show the gameplay that people are anticipating. You're like leaving it up to the imagination. So I think that this leak, I think it is going to hurt Sony sales wise, because a lot of people that were going to buy this game were people that originally played the previous Last of Us. So if they don't see enough to warrant their purchase, then they're just not going to buy it. Because I've seen people say, "Oh, I thought it was going to be this, but it's not that anymore. So I don't need to buy it if it's just going to be this." And I think that's why.
Did you watch the video that they put out?
I did watch the video they put out.
They comment on that.
Yeah, there's no change in gameplay. There's no change in like the shooting.
Yeah, I know.
That's the problem.
Yeah, the gameplay looks very similar to the original Last of Us. I'm sure there's like slight little enhancements here and there, but like me personally, I can't say, like, I beat Last of Us 3 years ago, and I didn't see enough in that, like, graphically or anything that's like I need to buy the new version to experience something different.
Which again is the benefit, yeah, because this might hurt developers, but in my opinion, that's the good kind of leak, because I guarantee you, like, the marketing and that wouldn't have shown us, oh no, the combat and that hasn't changed whatsoever. Like, they wouldn't have said that or bought anything up, because when they did the whole 10-minute video, none of that was bought up. They were going over all of the other things, but nothing about the combat was bought up. Like, they were clearly trying to hide that.
At some point, they had to show gameplay for.
The game comes out in 5 weeks, and the only reason that Sony dropped that blog in their own gameplay video is in reaction to the leak. Like, they weren't like, there's no.
No, wait, hold up. Now you're making assumptions that they were not gonna.
I'm not making an assumption. The leak happened, and 5 hours later, Sony drops a blog with a gameplay video. That was not planned. It is reactionary. It's not an assumption. Like, you can observe and see and make inferences based on like.
You are making the assumption that they didn't have.
It's not an assumption.
A plan to show the gameplay themselves.
Yeah, they may have had a plan, but it wasn't to show it the day that they showed it.
Hold on, wait, hold on. When did that leak come out?
The leak?
Yeah, when
came out, I think, Friday.
Came out Friday. Hold on. When because here's the thing, because depending on time, I'm vehemently going to disagree with you, Farrell, because like
it's like 3 hours later. It was literally like 3 hours later. So 3 to 5 hours later.
Okay, here's the problem with that. The gameplay that they put out was you're talking about the Last of Us Part 1 rebuilt for PlayStation 5, right? You're talking about that video features and gameplay trailer. Like, are you talking about that?
Yeah. The blog post that they put out like 5 hours after the leak.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I need. We're talking about like a written blog.
Yeah, they put out a blog post and a video like 5 hours after the release of the leak.
See, because
that blog post, it literally came out with a video, and for the video,
Yeah.
this
After the
video
leak.
need what the
Same day.
The
How
video needs to have-
coincidental.
all right, both of
Listen,
you,
though.
shut the fuck up. Right? No. Pharaoh. Okay, so what I will so that got released on the 21st. I'm trying to figure out when the leak came out.
The same day.
Right.
I'm telling you, it was the same
Okay,
day.
now I'm gonna say this right now. They might have had that in the backlog to go up at a later date, but that video was not made in response.
I didn't
Precisely.
say it was made in response. I thought it was released in response. I didn't say it was made. It was released.
Right.
We don't know if
5 hours later in response.
we don't know if PlayStation had intent to hold an event like a PlayStation showcase and show the improvement that they are working on. And let us
Historically, Sony leads off with gameplay. Historically, when Sony announces a game, they lead off with gameplay. When they went, like, they don't.
Dude, look what they did with Returnal. They had a day for a game show just to show you Returnal and its gameplay.
Okay, when they announced Returnal, did they not show some gameplay in the trailer?
Not that much, a little bit.
But they showed it. Okay, then, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the gameplay breakdown. The way that they did
We don't need a breakdown. We just need to see the damn game.
But they break down every single game that they release. They did it with The Last of Us. They did it with The Last of Us 2. They did it with God of War. They did it with Uncharted. They do it with everything that they release.
The game comes out in a month and a week.
It doesn't matter when the game
It does
comes
matter
out.
because
What
as a
matters
consumer, you need to know what you're purchasing.
which is
It
why
does matter when you show them.
Yeah, it's called common sense. It's called not pre-ordering. Something that I have done. I have not pre-ordered
Well,
the game.
we can't speak about common sense because they didn't play to people's common sense. They played to people's nostalgia.
Yep.
Assumption of their own.
Okay, you know
They
what?
never promised that.
I want Jube's thoughts on leaks. Like, what are your thoughts on the Sony leaks, and what are your thoughts on do leaks hurt developers?
I always look at leaks as I kind of consider them inside jobs at some point. Like when it becomes a habit, that means somebody in the know that knows how to circumvent all this is purposely leaking this shit.
Really? Inside job?
You can't keep saying it's a fucking accident. You know what I'm saying? Like when it keeps happening. At some point it's willful.
Fuck.
Admittedly, yeah, because I guess the other option from just a simplistic standpoint is like, then the company doesn't care enough to fix it.
Exactly, which is just as bad.
Yeah, it sounds. It's actually, I would say it's worse. It's one you can't prevent people because people gonna do what they're gonna do.
Yeah, people are gonna do.
You can say, it's effectively, I can lock my door. People can still kick it down if they want to, but at least lock your door.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when we were in school and they put like like blockers on certain websites, and then you would just go to the proxy server and go on the website. They can't stop you from going to the proxy server website at the time, but they can stop you from going to the website.
Yeah, exactly. You have to work a little bit harder to get to what you're trying to get to. At least do that. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit's too fucking easy. But not like the leak. I don't think the leak's gonna hurt the game. We already fucking know what happened. None of that shit's changed. Like the story is exactly the fucking same. This isn't like Final Fantasy VII Remake where they can take liberties and actually make like changes.
Yeah, the name Final Fantasy VII Remake in that game is a fucking misnomer at this point, given what happens.
Yeah, but it's like we know what we're gonna get with The Last of Us. Like they're saying, oh, it's gonna be crazy, but like it's not. It's really not. It's the same fucking game. It's the story that's the problem for me, and that story ain't changing. The story is still dog shit.
It's the same game with a fresh coat of paint.
It's the opposite.
Thank you.
For me. The story is not the story isn't the problem for me. It's the fucking gameplay, because the shooting in that game is fucking awful.
And you're right. It is awful. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. It's god awful.
Yeah.
I think I missed it when you're talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
But like, no, it's trash.
Yeah, like no, like the biggest point of contention for me with that entire fucking game is the combat. Like the melee combat is kind of fine, but from what I've seen, The Last of Us Part 2 refined it and made it better. The shooting is the same fucking thing. Like the shooting in The Last of Us Part 1 was fucking awful, in my opinion.
Yep. I mean, it was slightly better in Part 2, but again, it's slightly better. Like, I don't want just slightly better. Like, I want an actual improvement. I just don't see any value in replaying this game. You know, like literally outside of you have nothing else to do because God of War is not out yet.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Like, I played that game. I played it once. I'm not gonna play it again. I don't care. The story is not going to deviate or change, and I feel my way about it. So I'm good on it. It sucks that it got leaked, but I mean, it's. I mean, I also look at it as overpriced. I'm like, there's nothing too different, and it's 10 years fucking old. This should not be a $70 game. I don't care how much.
We'll get into this next.
Painting over, you went back on it, but yeah,
we're gonna go into this literally right now because like we might as well. We've seemingly exhausted all our fucking thoughts on leaks in games at this point. So yeah, I will say this title is my personal opinion. The Last of Us Part 1, all shine, no sizzle.
Facts.
All shine, no sizzle. Alright, and we'll go into it. So, here's the thing. There are some improvements to it. There is a good amount of graphical improvement to this game, as shown in the trailer, as shown in the video that I'm currently watching. Which, oh, by the way, Omar, this is also compressed as well because it's on YouTube.
I know.
Yeah, so are we not getting the full graphical fidelity from this video? I mean, it's from Sony, so we must be, right? Even though it's on YouTube, we must be getting the full graphical fidelity, right? Do you see
There's
how
a
fucking
difference between a YouTube compression and a fucking Twitter compression.
But the YouTube video was the same. Like, I was showing the YouTube video. So do you understand how retarded your fucking argument was? No, of course you don't. Anyway, so yeah, what they have effectively done, and this is something I gave because here's a good comparison, a swipe from one visual to another from The Last of Us, I believe remaster they're showing here, and the Last of Us, yeah, it's on the Pro for remaster and the PlayStation remake, PlayStation 5 remake. It does look significant. It does look better. There is a good amount of graphical changes to make it look better. Absolutely, I will not deny this. Like there is work been put into this. Right? They even in this scene you can clearly see they added a lot more trees. There's so much foliage.
What I'm trying to see is how's this gameplay different when he's literally walking at the exact same speed he was walking with in the fucking original game.
Right, there is something about that later. Actually, they did change up. Like I do believe they reused and tweaked some animations from the original because they even show footage of the actors mo-capping it. But like I said, no, like the visuals look great. But yeah, here you go. Because I believe that's old footage from when they were doing the mocap. The other thing they added that I am completely fine on, and here's some other side-by-side comparisons as well. Which I don't know why, but Ellie's face doesn't look... on the PS5 version, Ellie's face doesn't look as good or as sharp as it does on the PS4 version. At least in that moment. I don't know why. Right? But moving along, like they talk about how they're able to add a lot more particles and physics-based objects in the world because of the power of the PlayStation 5. Like they're able to do a lot more of that. I put on the audio, guys, but I just recommend going watching it yourself. Like there you go. There's an example of what I'm talking about. I'm guessing you guys are also watching the stream to see this video as well.
I have
Yeah, like the particle effects are good.
Yeah.
They're a lot better than they were.
And they talk about AI. They talk about improved AI movement, where AI will actively try to flank you and try and find you. Like if you're engaged in combat, they will actively try to suppress you and try and flank you. Which, to my knowledge, I'm fucking sure that was also a thing in the original.
Yeah, they did that.
Like, I'm fucking sure it, like, I found myself in multiple scenarios where I was being pinned down by gunfire and some fucker came up from the side with a goddamn sledgehammer. I was pretty sure it is, but I might be misremembering. Either way, it looks like they're improving that. That is an improvement, in my opinion, through, you know, being able to make combat encounters more engaging. The problem is you try and make combat more engaging with the same fucking combat problems as the original version, which doesn't fucking help. Like that's just gonna make that's just gonna confound the fucking problem, in my opinion. So yeah, they talk about all. Now this is where they get into the buddy system, right? So the buddy system is an absolutely useless fucking addition.
What is it?
So the buddy system effectively means, how they describe it is, if your buddy is in cover and an enemy is going to come around the corner and is about to have line of sight of your buddy, like Ellie, she will move into a position where she can't be seen. This does not affect combat. Like there is no additional combat here. The buddy system is just, oh, your companion AI that literally does jack shit moves off to another side.
So it's more of an immersion thing than a.
It's more of an immersion thing, but the problem is in the original, your AI companion doesn't set off the guards.
No, that's what I meant. So it's not like the AI companion doesn't set off the guards. So like even if they run directly in front of them, it's like it won't.
And the AI can never die either. Like in the original, I don't believe the AI could die. Like
yeah, so it seems though, which I don't know if I run up against it too bad, but like it's a quote unquote worthless thing from a gameplay perspective. But I guess it does make like the immersion, if you will, better, because now you see someone moving out of the way of somebody that makes it so they can't be seen, as opposed to the game just said they're invisible anyway originally, so they'll never be seen.
Pretty much.
Because in the original, Ellie would literally run through the enemies like it's not her business, and it breaks the immersion. But I really hope that with this one they introduced a mechanic where it does alert the enemies, because not the recruit, their original vision, they wanted to do that, but because of the limitation.
But now you're speculating. Now you're speculating if that was part of their original vision, because Neil, I'll tell you guys what Omar's trying to twist into a quote there. Neil,
what did I say? I said I hope that there is what's called an implementation for it.
Because this is part of their original vision for The Last of Us. That is what you just said. Because that was part of their original vision. You're speculating, they're assuming that it was part of their original vision.
I remember vividly reading what's called an interview about that with
if you can find it, I'll apologize, but you're speculating.
Oh, look at that.
Anyway, so my point is yeah, it's a nice visual thing, but at the end of the day, it's absolutely arbitrary and pointless. Like, it's absolutely pointless to remake a game just to add this. Because here's the other problem. Here's the problem with what Omar is turning around and saying about Neil Druckmann said that with the power of the PlayStation 5, they're going to, it allows them to visually make the Last of Us more what they hoped. But anyway, the problem with what Omar wants is that hopefully the AI will alert them is No matter how well you make it, the AI will always be somewhat fucking stupid if you can't control it. So there is going to be nothing more frustrating than to play out a stealth section and then the AI craps the fuck out and Ellie gets fucking noticed and it's completely and you're completely unable to change the fucking scenario. This is
So damn if you do, damn if you don't.
No, it's a do it. It isn't a do if you do if you do it. It's not a damned if you do, damned if you don't. This is damn fucking stupid. They didn't need to do this. This is a point against having to remake the damn thing. Because if they do,
because the original system like worked, they could literally be standing in front of the person and like they weren't really there. They're there for you.
Yeah, they're there for
that's
you.
it.
Because the problem is, if you're adding stealth with companions and then suddenly the companion gets noticed, it's completely out of your control. So why the fuck add a buddy system for a system that is just going to drag the gameplay down? Because yeah, here's a visual cue for you guys.
What does at least the buddy system doesn't, the new buddy system doesn't alert, right? It's just
We don't know that.
We don't know that, but the thing is in The Last of Us Part 2, you have buddies, right?
Yep.
I didn't play
In The Last of Us Part 2, did the buddies alert enemies?
Real talk, I genuinely forgot about that.
Think so.
Could someone?
They didn't.
They didn't. Then it's going to be the same thing for this.
Listen now.
Like that.
Because I don't care about immersion.
Like if buddies did not do it in The Last of Us Part 2, if buddies didn't alert enemies in The Last of Us Part 2, they sure as shit ain't gonna do it in the remake of Part 1.
And to be fair, which I agree with you, I would hope that they don't, because that's a level. I mean, unless that's the game, right? If that's the game, then that's a different conversation. As far as that isn't The Last of Us.
I'll tell you this:
So,
this whole thing about the buddy system, because this isn't my biggest fucking issue with this remake, is that was lauded as something great when The Last of Us came out. Is that Ellie was a good fucking companion? You know why? Because she didn't get in your fucking way. She was with you the entire journey and never got in your way.
Right.
As someone that played the game more than 6 times, I think, 3 times with the original and 3 times with the remaster, I actually hated that because I wanted more immersion. But it's not worth for me for buying the game. Whether it's 60, 70, it's not worth it for me.
Listen, Omar. There is a big difference between adding something for adding something for immersion and excluding something for gameplay's sake. Like, for example, I'll give you one of the best examples. Does it make sense from a immersion standpoint that you chainsaw a motherfucker in Doom and ammo spews out of him like a fucking piñata? From an immersion standpoint, no, not at all. But from a gameplay standpoint, it makes sense. From an immersion,
I really lost you because I don't understand what you're talking about.
Okay, so in Doom, if you use in Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, if you use the chainsaw on an enemy, they explode into a piñata of ammo that you can pick up. Does that make sense from an immersion standpoint?
No, but that's just every other game.
Not every other game, but from a gameplay standpoint, it makes sense. Okay. From an immersion standpoint, does it make sense that Ellie cannot be seen by enemies? No. But from a gameplay standpoint, considering you cannot control her, considering you cannot order her to go into any other position, considering you can't do any of that, and if she's seen, you're fucked. From a gameplay standpoint, it makes sense to exclude that. Some exclusions need to be made some exclusions need to be made from immersion for the sake of gameplay. Otherwise, immersion can destroy a game.
Now, what if just the buddy system only is just moving her out of the way with actual alerting anything?
But what was the point of taking the man hours to do that?
What's the point in remaking the entire game to do that?
at least my first thought would be the big I word, immersion. Like I don't think that. I mean, I agree.
Okay.
I'm not exactly a
Now, here's
proponent for
Here's
the
here's
remake.
the problem. Here's the problem with that. There's going to be scenarios where you find Ellie in a position, or your buddy in a position where there's going to be two enemies walking, and the AI can't fucking move. Like both paths of avenue. Like if you're looking at the video, I'll bring up an example of what I'm talking about right here. So you're gonna find yourself in a scenario. What if this? You see all the blue areas? This is what the AI can see. What if Ellie was here? Ellie's got nowhere to fucking go. And what if this guy here comes all the way over here and Ellie is still stuck here? Ellie has nowhere to fucking go. And she's eventually going to be seen, and the AI isn't going to react to her. That's going to break your immersion regardless.
But that's sort of on the developers to design around it. Like I can't fix that for them. You're asking what if. That's the question they should be asking themselves.
Oh yeah, but no, what you're seeing, no, here's the thing. They've already developed it. What you're seeing is the final product. You're just seeing the tiles. You're just seeing behind the curtain. Zero.
Again, I get that. All I'm saying is, if it's either they manage to pull it off or they don't.
They're not going to.
Right. So in that case, then it comes down to and. Look, immersion, of course, there's always going to be something immersion breaking. This isn't going... Anyone who says this is a huge deal for immersion breaking, I don't know if I believe, because it wasn't a huge deal the first time when Ellie was basically invisible. So it doesn't really sound like it's that much of a thing, right? Like, it's just, I agree, I don't know if this is the main reason why to remake this game. But, like, I don't know if the buddy system is the hill I would die on. As far as
I'm not. No,
this is the weird immersion thing.
That isn't. No, that I'm not giving a shit about this. I'm just saying, for me, my point with the buddy system is an example of why it is a point on the board of useless things they remade this game to add.
But I think things like that sometimes push the medium forward.
But how is it moving things forward?
Because the buddy system by concept is excellent. If the buddy can actually effectively move and you build your levels around it properly,
it's the same levels. It's the same levels. That's the problem.
But I'm just talking about the technology. So what I'm saying is that if somebody else sees this on The Last of Us and then wants to do it better on whatever new game, that's the immersion I'm talking about.
This would make sense. Here's the thing.
I'm not even just focusing on The Last of Us at all, but somebody has to do it. And effectively, more often than not, somebody's going to do it wrong for someone else to do it better and correct. So if The Last of Us are the folks doing it wrong, cool. Hell, perhaps Naughty Dog's next game, they'll do it better. But like, I get that it's not this huge thing, but like my whole point is, we've sort of hit the ceiling on like how much better is this going to look. So now you got to start doing more interesting things.
Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why I'm making a big deal of this the way that I am, though, Zero? Because Naughty Dog is making a big deal out of it. They actively are putting this on. So this video is basically, this whole video is basically their excuse video for why this game exists. So they're throwing everything out there as testament to why this remake should exist. And the addition of the buddy system and how much they focused on it is pointless.
I mean, sure, but I guess my only thing is from the existing, like, I've said this a while ago in the podcast, like, no game deserves to exist. So like, it exists because they wanted to make it.
This has no reason to exist. It's not that it shouldn't exist. It has no reason to exist other than passion.
Again, no game has a reason to exist. It exists. The reason is we wanted to, and you can put whatever else past we wanted. So we wanted to make money. We wanted to double dip.
Then the reason it exists is
that's it. Yeah, and Dragon Slayer, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like the Nemesis system for Shadow of Mordor, like that system is there. It seems to be locked in Shadow of Mordor. Yeah. Maybe it's coming back in the Wonder Woman game, but like inevitably someone else is going to figure out how to do the Nemesis system and get around their weird copyright, and like advance that sort of level of AI forward. Because once again, we're hitting the wall on how good things can look. So now it's like everything else, like because you know, Stray looks fine, but like part of it is like real life cat mechanics, if you will, like you scratch on carpets.
Right, we need to move. Like, let's move on to the next thing where they talk about additional gameplay modifiers. Like, and to be clear, guys, when they say modifiers, they mean things that you can add on, like clickers explode when killed or something like that. Like, we're not talking about gameplay changes. We're talking about things that add, like big head mode. He's basically talking about that, or
like the skulls from Halo.
Basically, yeah. That's what gameplay modifiers are. Like, okay, that's cool. Render mode. Why? I'm sure someone will get a kick out of this, but I have to ask, just personally, I have to ask, why?
Render. Yeah, I don't know why.
Like, what the fuck am I even looking at here?
Also, this base looks an awful lot like a base from Days Gone.
Photo mod. There was a fucking photo mod in the remaster. In the remastered version, I'm fucking sure there was.
I don't.
There was.
Permadeath mode. Permadeath mode, I will agree with. That's cool. And it's an asshole though. And speedrunning mode, where it times you on sections. Okay. All of that's cool. All that's cool. Problem is, all of that could have been added to a PlayStation 5 patched version of the remaster. Like, all those gameplay modifiers and all of these outfits and shit that they're showing, which even show P2, like Player 2. Which is strange.
So Dante, we're paying $70 for a patch.
Honestly,
based off of what we know.
Here's the thing, for that gameplay stuff, for the costumes, for it to be upscaled to 4K, and honestly, they could go for 4K 120 if they did it with the remaster. Like, and these gameplay modifiers and stuff, what I'm saying, permadeath and speedrun, they could add that to a patch, and I would say, okay, do that, charge $10, $15. I think that would go over better than this remake has. Like, personally, I think if they turn around and said, okay, we're adding this, we're adding this big laundry list, and that's not even getting into one of the biggest changes that I actually do like about this remake. If they'd said all of this, permadeath, speedrunning, gameplay modifiers, all of this include render mode, gameplay modifiers, all these costumes, a gallery where you, because another thing they told is a fucking gallery where you can look at the models. I don't know why. But
yeah, that's perfect.
If they added all of that and said $10 or $15 for the PS5 version of The Last of Us Remastered, you get all of this, including running at 4K 120 frames per second, I would be fine with that, because I'd be like, okay, you're just adding to existing content and making it available for next generation. At least that's me personally. Now, I believe the next... Here it is. This is where I fully agree with it, because if there's one thing I will stand on the fucking mountain with Moses and testify to that The Last of Us 2 Part 2 did incredibly well, and for me is the gold fucking standard of it. They added accessibility options to The Last of Us Part 1. Pretty much, by looks of it, every single accessibility option from The Last of Us Part 2 is in The Last of Us Part 1, including a audio description version. So, like a voice will describe the scene to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for the people that
are blind. Literally blind.
Are blind, yep.
Like, that's fucking cool. Like, I like that. But again, I'm pretty fucking sure, given the fact that they clearly have the fucking source code for it, they could have just put the man hours into adding this to The Last of Us Remastered and do a PlayStation 5 patch for it. And then they just basically go over the visuals a bit more. And then to me, like this is one. Luckily, 3D audio as well, which The Last of Us Part 1 had 3D audio. The Last of Us original had 3D audio anyway. So yeah, they're just talking about 3D audio here. Now, this is immediately going to get turned off. Like,
Which one?
The haptic feedback, the adaptive
Oh,
triggers. That's going to
I
get,
would turn that automatically.
that's going to get turned off automatically. Like, I don't care. It's not a big issue for me. I don't really care about it, but it would get turned off. The reason why I say that is because the way they describe it is, say you're pulling back the bow, the further back you pull it, the more resistance in the trigger.
Yeah, that was with Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island.
Okay, and the problem with that is you're gonna have a lot of you might be down to your bow or even your shotgun, and you're gonna have clickers coming at you that you need to fucking headshot to stop them, and your controller's literally gonna be fighting you in that fucking scenario now.
It does add to immersion.
Yeah, that's that immersion that Omar loves so much.
Yep, it adds to the immersion, but
I mean, if you ask me, the game wasn't made for us. It was made for people that's gonna watch TV series next year and decide to dive in for the first.
I said it. I'm not buying the game. I was going to buy it.
No, you're not. No. All right, motherfucker, correct yourself because I know you're gonna buy it. You're just not gonna buy it day one.
No. First of all, my friend is buying it. However, I'm not buying it. Not only even if my friend didn't buy it, I was not gonna buy it day one. I was gonna buy it deep sale, $15 maximum. Why? Because I already played the game. If the game had level Last of Us 2 gameplay mechanics, bet you I would have bought it day one. Here is why. Because with the addition of Patron, and I'm talking about everything that The Last of Us 2 had, I wanted that or a version of that.
Okay, that's pretty much
So I wanted it to revamp the entire thing because they apparently have been working on this game for 3 years. So not a lot of time to do all that stuff. Which is okay if you want to ask $70 price tag, fine, do so. I'm not buying it. Simple. I wanted Patron. I wanted being able to swim the way Ellie does. I don't want Ellie herself to swim because that would make no sense. I want the introduction of something like dogs. Give them have a new faction that uses dogs or something like that.
I would just like to, because I need someone to help media here because I don't want him to buy a PlayStation 5 and expect The Last of Us remaster to work. There is no patch for The Last of Us remaster for PS5, is there?
It's still backwards compatibility.
Is it backwards?
yeah, it's still running the PS4 version of the game though.
Yeah.
Like there's not a
Okay, so it is backwards compatible then. Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted Patron. I wanted the capability to dodge, because that adds a lot of gameplay mechanic. If you can dodge your enemy attack and then counter. Other than that, I really wanted to have new enemies because that would have a lot of new gameplay element to it. Also, I wanted a new map. Like, as you can see, I wanted more than a simple remake out of it. I kind of wanted it to be Final Fantasy VII Remake-esque without the whole story situation. Because I love the story. But for the gameplay, I wanted something new. And I'm not getting it. So, because I'm not getting it, I'm not going to buy that game day one. Simple. Vote with your wallet.
I've also
If you're a fan.
Yeah, so this video I've got currently running is actually showing more original to remake, and it appears that there are new animations as well as retouched animations from the original. which that was to be expected. Which some of them kind of look weird, like that looks weird to me, like how this dude gets up from the chair. That just looks weird to me. All right, well,
it's a little off. I see it.
Jubei,
That's funny.
what are your thoughts on this remake? Also, that bandage just basically fucking disappeared from his fucking hand.
Yeah. The same of us. I'm not buying it. I've already played the game. There's nothing in this that is enticing me to buy it because it's the exact same fucking game. I honestly feel that all this shit could have been a patch. It very well could have taken them this amount of time to get that patch ready for it, but they could have sold this to me at $15-$20 and I would have bought it. Sure, if I got to pay for a patch. Awesome. I'm not paying $70 for this shit.
Here's the thing, though. Like, the reason why I'd be fully fine with it is, like, I'm not just talking about, like, a patch to upscale it to 4K. I'm not talking about... But that's including all of the additional stuff, like the accessibility, like the new modes and stuff like that. Like, yeah. Go on, sorry. My apologies.
I was kind of hoping, like I'm not saying like it's just gonna be like an upscale patch or anything, because like I said, they could have put this amount of effort into, oh, guess what, the PS4 lets us turn this on, let's see how we can do that. I just don't think that what they're offering is worth $70 to me. It's just not. 40, maybe. I would have been okay with 40.
Okay, let's say they did everything that I asked for. Would you have bought it for 70?
If the gameplay was completely different, sure.
You're like me. You wanted new gameplay improvement. I agree.
I wouldn't have. I still wouldn't have paid 70. I would have paid 60 because I still think $70 for a game is bullshit anyway.
If the game has not changed gameplay wise, like, I mean,
this point, just put it on PC, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, somebody on PC could have at least upped the character models like this. Like shit. Yeah, no, I'll wait for a sale when it's on PlayStation Hits for $20. I'll be there. But
I still want a Swan off Naughty Dog games, haven't I?
I want to see what Naughty Dog does next because I'm tired of seeing the same game 10 years now. I'm good.
But no, like I still wouldn't like for me it. I wouldn't. I'd say if they redid the gameplay, and it was like The Last of Us Part 2, and they tightened the fucking shooting a little, to where it didn't feel like the game was actively trying to make me miss every fucking single shot. Then yeah. Oh, by the way, I'd like to point out, even in this video, they mentioned in the original, it's not uncommon for enemies to come at us head on without trying to flank us. That will no longer happen. But the fact that it did exist in the original as well, like they did fight through in the original. If the space, if the space allowed it, I still wouldn't pay 70 for it. I'd pay 60 if they revamped it, but I wouldn't even buy it anyway because I swore off Naughty Dog games. Zero, what are your thoughts on this?
I guess if we're to start with, there's probably no price that they could charge this that would make me get this again. And that is just because it isn't too long ago that I played The Last of Us Remastered. So while I really enjoyed the game, it does not hold any particular reverence to me as far as that a game I want to play again. As it stands, yearly I probably only replay 2 games, and that is Zeus Master of Olympus and StarCraft. Otherwise,
now honestly, I have a question for everyone. Does the game look visually better to you?
Yes.
It looks the same.
No,
to me, it looks similar.
To me, it does look better. I will send you the
I think it
video.
plays better. I think the visuals. I watched the official video.
Oh no!
I think-
what if I can send you this video? This video does a lot better side by side comparisons than the PlayStation one. So, like, because
I'm just saying, to my memory, it doesn't. Like, I don't have like when I see it, it's not like, oh wow, that looks so much better. Like I have to like, I would have to pop in, like I would have to do a side by side like you're doing to be like, oh wow, yeah. But other than that,
I would not say it is drastic. Like, it isn't Demon Souls to the new Demon Souls. It isn't Resident Evil to the new Resident Evil, or like Resident Evil 2. And once again, because The Last of Us isn't that old of a game, and at the time, it looked absolutely amazing.
we'll have to wait for what we'll have to really wait for is the Digital Foundry video to come out to do when they do a side by side comparison when it comes out.
But I think that already tells you, like, while it certainly looks better, if you've got to wait for someone to do a digital comparison, where we are as far as like, oh my god, look what this is compared to what it used to, it's like, all right, I get it. You take Final Fantasy VII, you take those CGI cutscenes, and what Final Fantasy VII looks like today, like, that is like night and day. Last of Us, I can tell. I can clearly see, like, there's some pretty things that are cleaner. But I still think that the original Last of Us looked pretty good. So, like, it's not it's not that much of an improvement on me that the new Last of Us looks a little bit better. It's like, okay, again, but once again, hitting that ceiling on, like, how good things are going to look anyway. So they got to start doing other stuff. Now, personally, I actually don't know if I like the new, like, Ellie's model.
So this is the one thing I will fully turn around and say I understand why it changed. So if anybody doesn't actually know the history behind it,
I do.
then I will. And I wasn't actually asked. It was a rhetorical question, but all right. Ellie's original model was loosely based on Ellen Page, who then I know she accused them of ripping off her likeness, and I can't remember if she did try and sue them, but she did throw accusations their way, and hence why Ellie looks different in The Last of Us Part 2. It isn't just a graphical jump, it's also a conscious effort to make her look different from the original. So with the remake, they have to make Ellie look like a younger version of her adult version in the Last of Us Part 2. So
without looking like Ellen Page.
Yeah, which makes sense because, like, I think everybody agrees, like, is when it first dropped, it's like, oh, did Ellen Page do was she the model?
No, she just she just attached herself to an even shittier fucking game by a hack. God, Willem Dafoe, what were you doing in that game? You're too talented.
So, like, but The Last of Us, I again, the reason why this exists, Naughty Dog, that's Naughty Dog's purview. I am just disappointed, because this, and I think I saw the article, somebody sent it, where, like, effectively Uncharted would just be too much money. But, like, gee, what a perfect opportunity to make what is probably arguably your worst game. Of modern Naughty Dog, if you will.
I don't know, Drake's Fortune exists. No, Drake's Fortune, Thieves' End.
Yeah.
No, not even Thieves' End. Oh, fuck, Drake's Deception, that's it, sorry.
I still think the first Uncharted was, we talked about it a while ago, I was like, I was visibly shocked at how aggressively mediocre that game is, to the point where I was like, I don't understand why people keep talking about Uncharted. It wasn't until I played 2 that I was like, oh, I get it now.
It wasn't even until 4 that they...
Oh yeah, 1 is bad. 1 need a full remake.
It wasn't even...
Like,
in my opinion, it wasn't even until fucking 4 that they got the shooting down halfway fucking decent.
Yeah, and, like, I was like, cool about, like, every time I look at 1, I'm like, wow, just a not great game. But what a wonderful opportunity. I would have hoped to, like, do 1, and that would bring everything full circle then, right? Like, all of the Naughty Dog properties sort of exist in this very nice little space, and good, they're solid, and we can move on from them. It's just like when Disney remakes movies that are basically perfect as is already. You know, you don't need to, like, I get why, because everybody's gonna go see The Lion King, but you don't need to remake The Lion King. It's a damn near perfect movie as is. You remake the movies that kind of suck, like The Jungle Book
Oi!
or Dumbo.
Oi! Fuck off! I will not have
The
you
Jungle-
fuck off. I will not have you besmirching the original fucking animated Jungle Book and Dumbo. Fuck right off, sir.
They're both terrible movies. I have not
They're
seen the
both,
live action.
bro.
They're horrible fucking movies. Like
Dumbo, bro. The crows alone. Fuck Dumbo, bro. Fuck that damn movie, yo.
Like,
That's good old fashioned family racism.
yeah, listen. I enjoy those movies even in their animated forms. The new Jungle Book is miles better than the original animated. Miles better. But that's what they should be doing. Like, take the movies that were meh from the Disney catalog and like remake them, boost them up. Don't take the perfect
like
ones.
why are you trying to boost Lion King and like Beauty and the Beast, bro?
And
Leave that shit alone.
Three of the
Exactly.
greatest animated movies of all time.
Exactly. Go back.
Yeah.
Go back. Like, make an actually good Pete's the Dragon movie. Like,
yes. Like and we got the technology to really do it. Like,
yeah. And it not look like shit.
Yeah.
I want to see Sword and Stone. You could have did that because that's a rough watch. Sorry, even as a kid, that was a rough watch.
So,
I don't even like fucking Sleeping Beauty. Like, I hate watching that movie because it's fucking boring.
Yeah.
Like,
so like, and that's the same with The Last of Us, right? Like, Last of Us is an excellent game. I like it. You know, opinions may vary, but like generally, it's damn near almost a pitch perfect game. Like, it's great. It's been remastered. It's been brought back, time and time again. I don't think you need to do anything else with it.
Hell,
Like,
even
I hate
the remaster helped with the shooting because they upped the fucking frame rate.
Yeah, like, you know, I damn near say, like, if they were just gonna do this, like, it should have just gone the Nintendo route and just be like, we're releasing it again, guys, $60, and people still probably would have bought it because, like, it's The Last of Us. They like The Last.
Wait. So what did Nintendo do different with the remaster of Skyward Sword?
That was a
What did they
remaster.
change? I know, but that's for $60.
And
What did
people
they-
were pissed at that as well, but people still
No,
fucking bought it.
that's what I was saying. I was saying they should just do what Nintendo does and just.
But I'm asking, what did they change? Because if you're gonna compare it, the change that PlayStation did with The Last of Us, and again, agree, I don't think it's $60 or $70 for me. But if you compare what Nintendo have done versus what PlayStation have done far more versus what Nintendo have done.
Well,
You're
Skyward Sword was on their least selling
first of all,
platform.
stop. It doesn't matter because you're missing what I'm saying. I'm not comparing.
No,
what I'm
it
saying
wasn't. Skyward
is
Sword was a Wii game.
I thought it was Wii U.
No.
it was a Wii game. Yeah.
Oh, something like
That's why
okay.
with that's why with the remaster they added, or they had to add a controller. They had to add a controller mapping to it.
Yeah, but missing what I'm saying. What I am saying is, I'm not talking about the new Last of Us remake. What I'm saying is, Naughty Dog, Sony, probably could have just pulled a Nintendo and just re-released the same damn game again. Don't do anything to it. And people still probably would have bought it. It feels like they didn't need to put any much effort into what they're doing with this one. It's nice. It's wonderful. And so for those fans, like, they get a nice little visual treat and some upgrades. But like, I feel pretty confident that like if they just re-release the same damn game from a few years ago, people would still buy it. Probably not for 70, 50, 60. They'd still buy it because if fucking Skyward Sword or Mario is any example, nostalgia wins for some folks, and like people do feel nostalgic for The Last of Us. So I'm not comparing them. I'm saying it doesn't feel like. It feels like they could have re-released The Last of Us to help finance the new updated Uncharted. Because personally, that's what I want. I wanted Uncharted to be the new game. So like for this remake, remaster, I don't have anything against it. I just have no particular say for it. Like I won't be buying this ever. Not on sale. I won't be playing it if it's free on the network because I've played this game already. I'm done with it. Great game. Move on. I'll wait to see what Naughty Dog does next. So I'm just I'm saddened or disappointed that like they didn't choose to do Uncharted instead. Because I really think Uncharted would have been excellent as a remastered version. Like I just, God, like every time I think about it, I just like think about this. That game would have been so awesome. But you know that's how it goes. Naughty Dog will manage it. People will love the game. They will sell like gangbusters. I mean, like, I guess it isn't going to finance anything, right? It's just money for money's sake, and they're giving us something to like hold over until whatever the next game is. Because I get a sense we're done with the Last of Us world, right? Like,
Yeah.
Does anybody think there's going to be a Last of Us 3?
I hope. Oh, I mean,
There's no need for a Last of Us 3. There's no fucking
Wait,
cure.
hold
It's
on,
over.
Jube, don't you understand? The
absolutely
cycle of
is.
violence. The cycle of violence must end. Don't you understand? Vengeance
It
is not the
won't.
answer.
These handful of people, these handful of people are not the population at large. The shit is never going to stop. It's over.
Did we play the same game?
Alright, Pharaoh, what are your thoughts on the
What?
remake from what all you've seen now?
Like I said before, I just think it's them kind of putting a fresh coat of paint on to, make the, for when this TV show comes out. I think they saw the success of the show The Witcher and what it did to the sales, and they want their game to show in the best light when the show comes out. People are interested. I don't think that for us people who have already played the game, I don't think they made it with us in mind. But it's something that if you want to go back to, you can enjoy. Right.
I keep forgetting about the show. That feels like
Oh yeah.
to bring. But once again, I just feel like I don't know. The Nintendo path would have worked. Re-release this joint right around the time the show is like close to coming out, like right around the time the first trailer for the show drops.
I don't really think. What do you mean with re-releasing? Explain.
Just re-release the game.
But it's already on PlayStation. Not Plus, the PlayStation. Yeah, the free content. If you buy a
You just
PlayStation,
remaster it again. Don't do anything extra. Just remaster it again.
it's already accessible for free on PS5.
Oh, I
But
mean, for
it's the PS4 version.
yeah, I would say just take it off, resell it again.
They would be destroyed for it. Because you literally
By who? By who? By
I
who?
think they'd be able to survive.
Yeah, the fan base is just gonna eat it up regardless, because again,
I'm
shit.
saying this. I'm saying this as a Nintendo person who's seen it done over and over and over again. They will certainly catch a little bit of blowback. And again, maybe I had to adjust my pricing. Probably can't sell it to you for about $6. Probably not gonna go. Maybe 30 or so. Like,
Zero.
or even if you do,
I keep,
like some sort of.
sorry, I keep telling you, no matter how much you love them, you cannot change them.
You can't change them. It is what it is. But maybe if you do sort of a Last of Us Legacy Edition, because is there one that comes with? Does this new one come with everything?
No, it doesn't come with factions.
No, I mean not factions. That I will not reiterate how I feel about.
So then, no,
but
from
the other, what's the other game? The middle one with Ellie and that girl.
Oh yeah,
Behind,
no,
yes.
it comes with Left Behind.
Yeah,
It comes with Left Behind.
So Left Behind got remastered or whatever.
Yes.
Got updated as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
By the looks of it, like the only thing I could see them doing with that is that they just add it to the story, like because it takes place while Joel is injured. They could just literally slide it into the game at that point. Like you're playing the main story, then the Left Behind DLC starts at the appropriate time.
Well, now knowing I didn't know the Left Behind part was included in the new one. Maybe I adjust my perception in. So maybe you don't pull a Nintendo. This one's here. I mean, I guess that's where we are. I don't know. Again, I'm just feel personally slighted they didn't do Uncharted, but it
I agree. I
does
would have played
feel
Uncharted.
it does, at least in my head, I feel like they could have released something that didn't take as much effort as what they've done and still gotten a pretty strong response.
Oh, you mean like I mentioned earlier about making all those gameplay modifiers, all of those accessibility options, all of that stuff that I mentioned earlier, and selling it as a $10 $10 to $15 patch upgrade for the PlayStation 4 remaster?
No, because that's like the nice way. I'm leaning more than Nintendo. So I'm like, how do I get a lot of money out of these folks? Because I know what doesn't exist, and that would be nice to have, like Uncharted, the story collection, if you will, right? Like 2, 1, and that middle story all is one package. And one game that just has this entire thing there. And maybe the older 2 get a little like visual fidelity boost, and like 2 was still new enough that you can still sell that for like $30-$40. Then we can include if we do it that way, then we include like your $10 sort of upgrade, Dante. So now that puts it at about 50, maybe 60. And you've got Last of Us 2, The Last of Us, and I don't know keep forgetting. That seems like that could work, right? With like less effort than I guess what they've done here. Like, I feel like people would buy that. Like, am I crazy for thinking people would buy that?
Yeah. A little.
Like, I don't know. I feel confident. Like, I feel like if I was sitting on that board of directors, I'd be like, guys, I got this. We can do this. Watch. Here you, Steve. You want to remake the whole thing? Let's hold off on that. Here's what we're gonna do. Because inevitably that's coming, right? Like, inevitably there's going to be a Last of Us complete edition. The same thing they did with Uncharted.
No, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah. So now seems the time, and then you drop it right around the time the show's about to drop, and like you just rack in the cash.
All right, Omar. Say what you want to say.
I think I kind of said it all. Also, one quick thing. Naughty Dog didn't start with the project. Apparently, different studios did it and then handed over to Naughty Dog.
Yeah, Ben. Jason Schreier already covered all that.
Oh,
Yeah, remember you said it was fake?
They're the Naughty Dog guys, aren't they? Fortunately.
So for me, I said it. Even if I didn't have access to it, I'm not buying it day one. It's not worth it for me. You decide. Here's the thing: whether a game is worth $60 or $70, that's up to you, the person. If something is important for you and you're excited about it, you're gonna buy it day one. If not, you're gonna wait on sale, and it's alright. Everyone have a choice to decide. It's very simple. Work with your wallet. You don't want something, don't buy it. It's really simple. Also, I'm not disappointed that they didn't go the route that both me and Jubei wanted to. And it's what's called it's shame that they have done what they have done in the sense of I would have genuinely paid $70 because I like new experiences. And I'm disappointed, but I understand why, because they don't want to take away from what the main team of Naughty Dog that's working on their own games, the faction, which I don't care about, and the unannounced games that they're working about. So we got this. If you're a fan of this game, and You think it's worth it? Hey, buy it. If not, wait for sale, like me.
I just say don't buy it in general, but that's just me.
Yeah, sure. Do you?
All right. Has anybody else got anything they want to add to this?
Slow news week.
It has been a slow news week. It has. All right. Well, I think that's where we're gonna end it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Well, unfortunately, Dragon the remake isn't gonna have factions, so fuck you, and fuck your factions. Yep. So that's gonna be it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to the outros. Mr. Jubei, where can people find you?
Yep, you can find me at Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms, Jubei Sensei everywhere else except for Twitter, Jubei Jones on music platforms. You'll also find me playing some multiverses this week because
Yes, sir. Tomorrow.
yeah. I got an early access code, so I'm gonna play it tonight.
This is good.
Is that the DC one?
What? It's the WB one. Yes, with the DC characters.
Yeah, WB Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
You know, people don't understand. Like, if they so choose, this game can last forever. You know how many intellectual properties they have to just throw characters into this damn game?
And they've really just thrown like the most.
They just put LeBron. They just put LeBron in there. And Rick and Morty's coming. I'm like, bruh. Like sign me up when Courage is in there and when Ed and Eddie are in there, because they put the Powerpuff Girls in there too, because you fucking totally can.
Codename Kids Next Door, I think Ben 10. Yeah, like
right. There's so many things. Like, yo, bring it. I'll give y'all money if y'all do this.
I don't know if you've seen it, Jubei, but like I've watched like a lot of the characters sort of walk through. And what I think was really cool is that I think they nailed the level of a specific level of detail for each character. Like, a lot of people had a big problem with the Iron Giant being in there, because his whole thing is like he doesn't want to hurt people. But all of his moveset is designed around not actually hurting anyone. He's just sort of doing things, and sort of in true form with the Iron Giant, like he's accidentally hurting things because he's a big robot.
He's an oaf.
Yeah, but he's not purposefully like kicking people. Like, all of his moves are like biting. It's like biting things or tripping over stuff. And I was like, that's kind of clever. Same with Velma. She doesn't physically attack anyone. It's just all like words.
She loses her glasses. Whoops.
Yeah. So I was like, it's little details like that. It's like, this game might actually go pretty far.
It might, bro. I'm really excited for what I've seen. I want to play it. As long as the characters aren't floaty like Brawlhalla, I'll be happy. That's the only reason why I don't like Brawlhalla. There's no weight to anybody.
Yeah. It seems everybody can just sort of fly off in any direction.
All right, then.
Yep.
Fair enough. Omar, where can people find you?
People can find me @Carb_Cab on Twitter and Anime Squad every Friday 5 p.m. Standard Time. Sooner than later, we're getting a new member, and I can't wait for that. Other than that, also Game Player every Saturday 5 p.m. Standard Time. Last week, I had Delhi on the show with Up Gaming. Great dude. Great episode. And yeah, that's about it.
All right. Farrell, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter @FarrellBazaar, and anywhere you like to watch your favorite streamers @Land of Farrell.
All right, cool. You can find me at Dante Crisis on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, DLive, and The Dante Crisis on Facebook. Currently doing a Let's Play of Batman Arkham Origin, as well as Shredder's Revenge, starting tomorrow. 6-person co-op. It's fucking mad. And I'm live streaming currently.
Shredder's Revenge. Is it crossplay?
Yes, between Xbox and PC.
Oh, not PlayStation. Okay.
Nope.
You got on PC, Dante?
Yes.
All right.
It's also a really big pain in the ass to actually get the crossplay working, but that's besides the point. And I'm also doing a live stream of Mario Odyssey on Tuesdays. Wednesday, I'm going to be doing Gears 5 because my co-op partner can't make it for Friday. Thursday is going to be KOTOR, and Friday is going to be a chill stream. So, yeah. Hey, Zero, where can people find you? But more importantly, where can people find us?
Well, guys, as always, it's been an absolute blast to chop it up with y'all. You can find me pretty much everywhere. It's zero.exe. But more importantly than me, please check us out pretty much on all of our sort of online personas. Specifically Vitamin G, wherever your favorite streaming services are, we're going to be there. Podcast, Apple Music, Spotify. Give us a shout, give us a listen. Always absolutely wonderful shout out to the folks who sit in here with us live, because you guys come through absolutely all the time, so we always appreciate you. And for those who can't catch us live, we appreciate too, because as I always say, you literally could be doing anything else, but you decided to listen. Always appreciate you for that.
Why? Why do you listen?
You literally could be doing anything else. Something about us that at least keeps you entertained, or at least you're managing through the gym, you're in the grocery store, like your boss is yelling at you, and you're just tuned out listening. It's all cool. We just appreciate the listen, because we could just be talking to ourselves. That we have an audience is absolutely wonderful. But of course, I cannot leave out of here without telling you, please go check out my wonderful, wonderful panel mates and all the things we do. Dante Crisis with his wonderful, wonderful streams, using wonderful a lot. Please check him out. He's absolutely funny. Still waiting for that day. I'm gonna keep popping in. He's gonna play Overwatch again.
No,
I'm gonna catch him there. It's okay. It's okay. It's no rush. You in your Sea of Thieves mode, you ride that out. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna keep an eye, and one day it's gonna pop up, and I'm like, I'm ready. Please go check out Jube X Sensei, Jube Jones. Both he and I will be playing Multiverses, so find us on there and square up. Actually, Jube, we should probably get up and just play people online.
Oh, for sure. Hey, it's queues. I like how the queue system works too. Did you catch that?
No, so I haven't seen that.
You basically you can jump into a queue for someone, and you just wait your turn in line, and you move up. Move up the list.
Yeah. Please check out Pharaoh. He got a little hype on his last stream, so I guess his voice will be better for the next time. Pharaoh Bazard and Land of Pharaoh, and could not forget my panel member on a couple of, or at least another whole panel as well. Omar with Anime Squad on 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then of course Game Slayer 5 p.m. on Saturdays Eastern Standard Time. Once again, guys, we appreciate everything you do. Thanks for listening.
All right, yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, remember to keep it gaming. Okay, we out of here. Peace.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
Hey, you rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G.